Hello, my name is Mark, and I've decided I'm going to start doing um, YouTube videos about my life and everyday things, and hopefully some adventures. I turn 50 next year, and I want to start getting out of this little bit of a rut that I've been in. Um, I'll explain more in future videos as to some of the challenges that I've experienced in my life, which is why I'm wanting to, I say, get out of this rut. So you probably, if you go back and look at some of my previous videos, have seen that I've done some ultra marathons. So running has been a big part of my life. Up until about a year ago, I still run, but I probably only manage one run every 3 months. I do walk every day with the dog, but it's not the same as running. So I want to try and get back into that more. But that's not what this video is about. About 10, maybe 15 years ago, I had a blood test, and the result came back to say that I was type 2 diabetic, even though I did a lot of running. So I started to control what I ate, and I increased me running. And after a little bit of work, my next blood test came back that I was actually classed as diabetes resolved. So the doctor told me that whilst I would still be invited to diabetic clinics, um, I did not need to attend them, although it was advised that maybe once every 2, 3 years to go to a diabetic clinic and just get a screening, and they were all fine. However, as I mentioned, things have changed over the last year, and I went to the diabetic screening in November of 2024, and my blood results came back not particularly good. So the doctor in November prescribed me a regular medication for diabetes, metformin. So I've been on metformin since November. Then I had another blood test, and that was in March, and the doctor again wasn't happy with my blood results, so he came and told me to start using this beautiful thing, which I cannot pronounce. Don't know what the effects are of that particular medication. I haven't had a blood test yet because I've only been on it just over a month. But fair to say, I'm watching more what I eat. I've eliminated lots of sugars. However, one of my vices, and a vice for a lot of people, is alcohol. Now, I've dabbled in homebrew, which I've recently sold my entire homebrew set. I've not done any homebrew beer making for quite some time, and I don't intend on doing that again. It was enjoyable, but I had to cut down the beer. So when it comes to drinking alcohol, I like me whiskey. And I might only have 2 or 3 whiskeys a week, typically on a Friday or a Saturday night. I do have a whiskey channel, whiskey YouTube channel, which you can go and find if you search for Back for the Whiskey. But I like me beer, but I don't drink much of it now. But what I have decided to do, and as you've probably seen by the title of this video, is I'm on the hunt for the best alcohol-free beer for somebody with diabetes. Now, it's not necessarily the alcohol content that is the problem, although alcohol is a lot of empty calories, and normal alcohol beer is higher in calories than alcohol-free beer. The carbohydrates, it varies from beer to beer, but generally alcohol-free can be worse, certainly for sugars. So I'm on the hunt for a alcohol-free beer that, one, tastes nice, two, has less of the sugars in it. Something that you can maybe have every now and again and not necessarily feel guilty, and you can manage your blood sugars better. So alcohol-free beer, I think everybody knows of Caliber, which launched in about 1986 by the Guinness Company. And that was the #1 alcohol-free beer for a long time. And if you're a driver, other than your soft drinks and fruit juices, Caliber was really the only alcohol-free drink of choice, and it wasn't that good. Apparently they still make it, and you can still buy it, although I'm yet to find anybody that stocks Caliber, so I can give it another try. But it wasn't the best. It was kind of a, if there was nothing else, didn't want to drink water, it was good enough to be Caliber. So, what is the first beer that I'm going to try? Now, I've had this beer before, and it's from the Netherlands, and it is this one here. It's Bavaria. Now, I'm not a big lager fan, and this is a lager. It's exactly 0% alcohol. It's produced by the Royal Swinkels family brewery, known as the Bavaria Brewery in Holland, but is only good for a diabetic. It contains 2.5 grams of sugar per 100 ml. It has 7.92 grams of sugar per 330 ml can, and it has about 15.18 grams of carbohydrates per can. That works out to be 66 calories. Of course, there's no alcohol in here, and the alcohol will start adding a lot of calories, but this doesn't have that. So what's it like? Is it any good? I have had this before, as I say. So let's give you quick thoughts as to Bavaria alcohol-free beer. So it's gassy, lots of carbon dioxide in there, giving a bit of a head. It's the same, I want to say, pissy golden colour of a lager. It smells like a lager, although it's got a bit of a more of a nuttiness to it. Kind of burnt malt nose on the smell. But let's have a taste. What's it like? It tastes very similar to the nose. That burnt malt, that nuttiness, but it's very gassy. As I say, I'm not a fan of lagers, and one of the reasons I don't drink lagers is because of the gas. I feel like I bloat really quickly on a lager. It's not terrible. It's drinkable. If I went into a bar and I wanted to have a non-alcohol drink and this was the only choice, I would buy it. If there was other non-alcoholic choices available, then I'd probably opt for them. But this is about the sugar content. This is about, is this any good for a diabetic? Again, everything in moderation. Shouldn't drink too many of these because there is sugar in them. So you can't have an entire evening of these things because you will have blood sugar spikes, and that's no good for your diabetes. But this one's okay. This is the benchmark because we don't have Caliber to hand. This is going to be the benchmark. It's the first one. I have tried lots of them, so I will be reviewing a fair few alcohol-free beers. So I'm going to have a category of bin, don't buy it, okay, and fantastic. This is an okay. This is going to sit firmly in the okay camp. But how does it compare for the sugars? We'll have to wait and find out. In terms of price, I picked up this 8-pack of the Bavaria cans for £3 from Morrison's. I think that works out to be about 36 pence a can, which, well, that's cheaper than a can of branded fizzy drink, isn't it? It's cheaper than a Coca-Cola or a Pepsi. Which is what this is competing against in terms of alcohol-free options for people who don't want to consume alcohol. It's okay. It's okay. It'll do the job. I won't be finishing this can because it's early in the day and there is a lot of carbon dioxide gas in this, and it will blow me up and I'll feel a bit crap, which is something to bear in mind when it comes to the choice of alcohol free. But if you enjoyed this video, then You'll help by liking and subscribing, and I'll see you on the next one. Laters.